since we just got into the back to school mode?
Well, we got an opportunity this year to add a few classes. The school board took care of us with our staffing this year,
Hmm.
gave us the opportunity to put in some different CTE courses and some extra courses that we haven't been able to have in the past. But those have been exciting to add, and the teachers have been enthusiastic with those, and it's going well.
Um, let's kind of do a blow by blow on the specific courses. What are they? And if you want to mention any instructors or anything like that as well, it's just fine.
You bet. Well, we've added a multimedia class.
Hmm.
One of our coaches, Tommy Thompson, is doing that for us, and we kind of started that a little bit last year with some picture taking and Adobe.
Hmm.
But this year we've added some new software. We've got the potential of doing some podcasts. We've got multiple students that are taking pictures at ball games, and they're going to take those pictures and videos and edit those, add some music to it. It's going to be pretty exciting whenever they get those products done and see what they've got going. We also added journalism this year. Coach Irwin is going to take care of that for us, and she's brought in a new dynamic that we haven't seen a lot from our kids. She's getting to add just a different variety of publicity for us. She's going to do some articles. She's adding a sports editor type of situation. She's got an overall editor that's going to do it, and I think try to put together a online version of a school newspaper this year. So it'll be exciting to see how that goes. Of course, last year we started our FFA program, but it's really taken off this year with a diversity of classes for that. We're excited to see where that goes and what Mr. Short's going to do with that, and then also geometry and construction, and that's kind of exciting. Some of our students are going to get the opportunity this year to combine the math side of geometry with the construction side of just building. It won't be huge this year. It has the potential of growing into building small houses, sheds, and that type of stuff. We'll start small this year, but it's kind of exciting to see what's going to happen with that, and Gary Huckabee is going to do that for us.
Sounds like some really excellent additions to your high school curriculum this year that are certainly helping keep up with the times as
Certainly.
they advance on. I think, especially, of course, I obviously have a bias towards journalistic and multimedia things, but I think it's important in this new age, so to speak, because not too long ago, journalism and multimedia and all of that used to be sort of a specific profession, and now with social media, we're sort of all lumped into that together, in a way. So if you sort of if you're a young person, you learn to better understand journalism, but also multimedia because they are hand in hand. It also helps you understand the maybe the different perspectives and how to in a more mature adult way see social media. I think it has a very practical application in real life and nowadays.
You bet. Trying to get our high school out there and into the public eye as part of that process. We hope for those students to be able to put together some articles and things that may also go out into the Herald and some of those types of places, and just get some recognition for our students across the board. So.
Well, be sure and kind of give us a heads up, Superintendent Johnson, when that comes about, because we'll be certainly glad to share onto our various media, social medias, and on the air any news produced by students out of Forsan.
Well, y'all do a great job with that, and we do appreciate that connection for sure. And I like your point that we need to take the opportunity in that class as well as many other classes to talk about some. Is the word responsibilities that we have as people, as human beings, when we are using some of those formats. We all have social media access, and it can do damage as well as be used for some positive things. So we need to work on that, make sure our kids know how to work that appropriately and be positive online. But I just wanted to follow up with what Mr. Lowery was saying there. These are we add classes from time to time, and maybe don't talk about it enough. One of our teachers, about a second or third year teacher, the other day said we ought to have a careers class, and I said, you know what, we have a careers class. So sometimes we aren't great about even talking about the options among our own staff, but we're going to try and do a better job with that and get some information out there. I'm excited about the changes made in the last few years as far as things that are offered to our kids that are connecting school to real life. So the students start to see what we're doing right now as 15, 16, 17-year-olds ties directly into what we're going to do as 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And so we have a goal to improve in that. I think we've made some great headway this year and appreciate Mr. Lowery's leadership in getting that done.
We're talking to Forsan Superintendent Randy Johnson and high school principal Kenny Lowery here in our visit with Forsan School District officials. We'll take a short break, back with more right after this. Welcome back. Our guests from Forsan School District include high school principal Kenny Lowery and superintendent for the Forsan School District Randy Johnson. Mr. Lowery, back to high school specifically and some of these career things we've been talking about, some other highlights you wanted to bring up.
You bet. Mr. Johnson had mentioned the careers program, and we actually did incorporate a new class this year for us that is a work-study program. It gives the students the opportunity to have a classroom setting with Coach Corey Richardson. And in that process, he talks a lot about keeping jobs, how to handle yourself in the workplace, what your expectations are, and also how to prepare for finding jobs. They work on resumes and those types of things. But it allows us also to get kids out into the workforce. Those students mostly go to the afternoon process, and they get the opportunity to work out in the public. We've got several employers that are putting them to work. And it's exciting to see our kids get out there and then get instant feedback. Coach Richardson goes to visit those businesses once a week. They get the opportunity to tell us what our kids are doing right. Also help us to tell us where we need to be helping those kids and getting them ready for the careers. So it's exciting, and it's good for Coach Richardson that he's gotten that going.
Superintendent Johnson, the last time we spoke was a couple of weeks ago. You were just like everyone else, just hitting the ground running with back-to-school things. Give you a chance for the final word, just sort of a big picture. How are things settling in now at Forsan ISD?
Well, it has been a good start to the school year. We had a great first week. I think reality kind of hit second week, but everybody was exhausted, kids and staff as well. But not that anything bad happened. It's just reality hit, and so now we've had a first little break too with Labor Day. We've
played
got
some football
going,
and other sports, and
got football. In fact, one of the new things going on at the secondary campus is a new volleyball program. Started with our junior hires, and they're going strong after school, trying to learn that sport. And so lots of different things. Bus routes are now in place. We've kind of got those routines down. There's a lot that happens in the first few weeks of a school year, just trying to make all the adjustments from the previous year and get everybody in the right place.
I've already heard some nice comments too on the band, sounding good again this year.
We're
Is Mr.
excited.
Rhodes still back at it again?
Mr. Rhodes is at it
yeah.
again. It's another state year for us, so we hope they get to qualify and go back to state once again. And yes, they're working hard. They've put in many hours already in summer band and Monday night band, so we're excited about that.
And Kenny Lowery, any final words from you before we depart on this day in conversation with Forsan ISD?
I think we're good. We appreciate y'all and what y'all do to help promote Forsan and get us going every day, and it's exciting. We're excited about the new year. Thank you.
Kenny Lowery, high school principal, and Superintendent Randy Johnson, Forsan ISD. Thanks again for your time and visiting with us and our listeners today on KBYG AM and FM.